Free Tory, free Tory, free Tory. We have another update. I thought the last one was gonna be the last video. I was super sad, like, they overturned the appeal, man. He has to do the 10 years, but his team is not done fighting.
Tory Lanez appeal being denied, very simple. That case starts and ends with the testimony of Sean Kelly, the only unbiased eyewitness. He saw the events, the actual events of that night unfold with his own eyes from his bedroom window looking down at his driveway. He saw two women engaged in a violent fight. Prosecutors did not present that to the jury at all. Prosecutors let both women testify without mentioning that violent fight. Prosecutors failed their responsibility to the people to look for the truth. The two women, in my opinion, perjured themselves, never testifying about the fight that Sean Kelly saw. I credit Sean Kelly, because why would Sean Kelly, an unbiased witness from his bedroom window looking down on his driveway, make up a story about two women engaged in a violent fight? So look, the appeal can be the appeal, and they can do whatever they want. They can argue whatever they want. The defense lawyer made a huge mistake not putting Quan on the stand. Quan was waiting to testify. He came, he showed up. The government said, we want a continuance. The judge said, I'm going to give them a continuance. Defense, are you ready to wait for the continuance? Then you can have your boy testify. And the defense said no. The defense lawyer didn't have Tory Lanez testify. The reality of that case is that the Sean Kelly testimony opened the door to a not guilty verdict, but you still had Megan pointing the finger at Tory Lanez, and you still had Sean Kelly's testimony on recross be a little complicated. And so what you needed was you needed Quan and you needed Tory take the stand. You could have bought it home. It didn't happen. I don't give a shit what judges or juries say. I saw that case. I know that case. That case should have been a not guilty.
We see Tory Lanez doing his first interview that he's done since being actually convicted. We've seen him on Aiden Ross and talking through different Instagram lives and stuff like that, or his team giving us messages from Tory to the public, but we haven't seen him sit down and actually do an interview from jail. This reminded me like that old Pac shit, when Pac had like a low little fade and he was talking inside the prison. That kind of reminded me of that.
Penitentiary, do not come to jail. Do everything you can to make it around the system, over the system, or in the system. But don't come to jail. It's not the spot. It's little 17-year-old kids up in here, you know what I mean?
Because Tory's still sitting there saying he was wrongfully convicted. Sub up to the channel, guys. Do not forget we're on that road to 20,000 subscribers. We will do a giveaway the closer we get to that. But Tory Lanez says they're trying to paint him as a monster. The poster boy, basically, of women abuse. Like, this is not fair. Which is crazy, because Tory Lanez's main fan base and the people he kind of tailors towards always been women. He's about to drop all the chicks tapes this week. 2, 3, or 4. Proud family, you guys are about to get it all. He's always swayed towards the women. So now to see 2025, the way that women might look at Tory Lanez is just insane to me. And seeing Tory spill out his heart from inside prison, man, it hurts, because all the evidence, I know you guys gonna be a lot of you like, yo, he's exactly where he deserves to be, that's great, but a lot of the evidence, no DNA on the weapon, where has the shooting shells been? We've never seen none of the actual bullets that hit Meg's foot. A doctor came and spoke on the stand, that's all we got, but they lost the bullet fragments.
Been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that. But you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one. I never had one. And I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is just, it's completely incorrect and it's wrong.
It just doesn't add up to me. His team is preparing another appeal, and this time saying that Meg Thee Stallion's team did not give over all the records and evidence and medical records that they had to give during the trial for them to build a case around it. Trust me, it's not gonna be an easy fight for Tory Lanez. I think if he does get out, it's definitely not gonna be easy. But we've seen the same thing with Vibes Cartel to the point where like, there's no way that nigga's coming out. He's doing the time, and he came out. Max B, we thought he was gonna do 75, and he came out. Sometimes these appeals might not look your favor, and Tory hasn't really been there as long as all these other guys have been there saying that they're gonna come out next year. Bro, we've been hearing Max B was gonna come out for 17 Novembers until he finally came out. So the thing with Tory is he's gonna continue to fight, and I think it makes the time go by even faster. Yeah, you might not ever come out, you might just get out on parole, or you might get out on like early good behavior, before you actually get out on appeal. But Tory not giving up and Tory continue fighting is going to help him with the time.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial. Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raise questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove, because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
Two things during that interview, I was like, yo, that's crazy. That was very, very smart. One thing, actually, I told you guys, if Tory would have took the stand, I don't believe he would have got guilty. But he's a rapper, and he wants to keep that rapper image. A rapper and a stand is like literally the cardinal sin. Like what you really can never do as a rapper is sit on that stand. That's why A$AP Rocky was ready to take it to wherever he had to go to, A$AP Relly, but he was not going to get on that stand. Tory Lanez not going to get on that stand. And even he says it now. If he would have got on the stand, he believes the verdict would have been different. And I definitely agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Even if they would have used his tattoos against him, his prior gun charge against him, that's great. It's never been a crime against women. It's never has been. It has never been. I think if he would have sat up there and actually told us exactly what happened that day, Tory Lanez would be walking free today. Would that be a chink in his armor? For sure. But look at today, everybody's saying F the street, so you would have been good anyways. But yes, as many of you guys know, Tory Lanez is serving 10 years in California prison.
What has life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully, I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally, I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with, because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. I almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
I think that I wouldn't say something directly to her. I would like that moment to happen in person. We've both gone through a lot. There's this connotation that, like, I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I genuinely passed that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And when I talk about my case, I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that.
And the reporter asked him something that could have went the wrong way. If you had anything to say to Meg Thee Stallion, what would you have said to her? And my heart stopped, like, brother, don't do this now. Don't say nothing crazy. Do not talk about the orange or yellow Goyard bag that we were roasting her man before for being broke. She ain't even with him no more. Don't say Klay Thompson's corny out here for the way he ran away when people were asking him if he still liked Tory's music. Don't even bring it up. Don't bring it up. There's gonna be a day when you get out.
How you feel about Tory Lanez coming home? What you gonna do?
What's that?
With Tory?
What's that? Bro,
How you feel about Tory, bro?
Get away from me.
Get away from you?
Yeah, bro.
Why you scary, bro?
And he understood the task, because he literally said, nah, I don't got no hate on her, bro. I'm just trying to get out. Like, I got no hate. I think I'll tell her what I want to tell her that when I get out. Yo, that had me rolling, because in my head, I'm like, oh, nah, he's thinking the same way as me. Get out, brother, and then you can go crazy. Get out first.
I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the evidence and ask if this was fair.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom?
That's right. His legal team has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
But will Tory Lanez come out? Will Tory Lanez win the appeal? The way his team is moving, I believe they think they still have a fair shot. And that's the team you want with you. Even though it's delusional and nobody else believes you, as long as your team feels like they're fighting a battle that they could win, that's all you need. Sub up to the channel, guys. Do not forget we're on that road to 20,000 subscribers. Sub up, sub up.